If you're looking for a way to not only shrink your midsection, but give the illusion that it's even smaller than it is, stick around. Now, before we get into the tips and tricks on how to shrink your midsection, if you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications so that way you know when we post more videos like this. Now, we all know that the best way to shrink the midsection is through diet and exercise. Now, in my opinion, the ketogenic diet is the best way to do that nutritionally, but as far as cardio goes, I believe that HIIT training, high intensity interval training, is the best way to burn it through cardio. So when you combine those two methods, you're just going to shrink that midsection down, and that's going to give you a nice tapered waist. Which brings us to how we are going to give the illusion that our waist is even smaller than we were able to get it through diet and through cardio. And that is building muscle. Now, when you build muscle, especially up in your upper shoulders, chest, and arms, that is going to make you look wider than you already are. And when you're wider up top, that's going to make everything below it just shrink down and taper. When you do HIIT cardio, not only are you going to raise your heart rate into the fat burning zone, but you're also going to be incorporating more muscle fibers in order to exert the energy needed to propel yourself and get your heart rate up. Which is why low impact steady state cardio, also known as LISS, is not the right way to go about burning fat. So sitting on a bike for 20 minutes to an hour, just slowly pedaling away or going for a walk, is not going to burn the type of fat needed to lose that kind of weight. Now, I'm not saying that LISS cardio is not beneficial, because anytime that you're moving, you are doing something healthy. So I will never knock someone doing LISS training, but if your goal is to burn fat, then you need to do a more intense version of cardio, which is HIIT training. Now, when it comes to the illusion of giving yourself a smaller waist, let me give you an example. Now, as an example, I like to use the rule of opposites. Now, by that I mean that if you have a bigger waistline or midsection, then your shoulders and chest and your legs and your hips are going to look smaller because your waist or your midsection is sticking out more. Now, the opposite would be if your stomach is narrow and you build your shoulders up, your waist would look smaller, your shoulders would look bigger, and your legs would look bigger. So if one is larger than the other, it's going to make it look smaller. And all of this is something that I am going to be putting into action in the second half of my battle rope program. Okay, so here's the actual breakdown of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing battle ropes for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to sprint for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to be doing 20 push-ups, and then I'm going to be doing 20 squats. So that way I give the illusion that my waist is smaller and that my upper and lower body are larger. That way I'll be alternating my upper and lower body for cardio, so that way I don't burn out too quick before I get into full burn and get my heart rate up. And then I'll switch over to my body weight exercises, so to get the full burnout and get the muscle activity. And then I will rest for 1 minute, and then I will go through it again. I will do the whole thing 5 times. I'll go through it twice for you, and then I will go through it the other 3 times afterwards and just finish it out, and then I'll meet you right back here when I'm done. So I'm not even gonna lie, that was way tougher than I thought it was gonna be. As you can see, I'm having trouble breathing, so definitely a good workout. But I wasn't able to finish it. So, complete honesty and transparency. You know, like I said, I'm always gonna be honest with you. So, I had to call it quits because I just didn't have the energy. So, some of them I have to work on. And by the end of these 3 weeks, the last half of this 6-week battle rope program, you know, hopefully I'll be able to get through it all. But I have the plan in place, and I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to follow it and get through as much as I can, every day. So, but going back to what I said at the beginning about ways to, make your waist smaller, make it look smaller, and, by cardio and, diet and making all the surrounding body parts bigger to give the illusion. Now, I intentionally left off like crunches and stomach vacuums because, those are more along the lines of muscular, muscle building and that sort of thing, which we'll get into that whole thing later. But I was talking more along the lines of diet, like nutrition and cardio, ways to burn the outside layer of fat off and the illusion by building up things around it. So I intentionally left off the crunches and the vacuums because that's a whole different topic. So I was just telling you things you could do for, nutritional, to actually get rid of the surrounding layer of fat, and ways to just, work other body parts. So with all that being said, if you have any comments, anything that I may have forgot to mention, or that you have any questions about, just leave in the comments below. And like I said at the beginning, if you haven't already, just please subscribe, hit that notification so you know when we post anything, and help us grow. So with that being said, all right, stay awesome, and we'll see you next time.